Still struggling with VCarve Pro? You're going to be so glad you clicked on this video. Welcome back, kids. Got a great video for you today. I'm going to cover how to design an oval shaped sign in VCarve Pro. We're going to learn how to use your dry run feature in the Masso. Also, I'm going to show you how I align live edge slabs on the wasteboard to keep them square with the X gantry. And of course, as always, a little problem solving on the fly. Anyway, this one runs a little longer than normal, so go grab you a bag of popcorn and sit down and I'll show you how to do these things. All right, we're in VCarve Pro. Only thing I've did so far is the oval, and I've set the size to 29 inches wide, 13 and a half inches tall. Close that. First thing we need to do is make some offsets. This sign is going to have a black border that runs around the edge of the sign. So we need to go ahead and establish that now. We're going to go down here to the offset tool, and we're going to go inwards, and I'm going to go 0.35. I want it to be a fairly wide border, and create sharp offset corners is checked. That's just by default. I rarely mess with that. And select new, that's fine. We'll just click offset. All right, there's our new one. So this one is the actual, that will be a pocket cut out, like 0.07 depth. And then it'll be black in the finished sign. But we also need something to keep us off of the edge of this black border here. So let's do another offset. This time we'll just keep it 0.25. 0.25. Make a new offset. All right, now this is the true inside border of our design. We cannot go outside of this. All right. So now let's get started with the design process. So let's close that out. We've got our ovals here, our two offsets. Over here is our artwork. I just went on Google, typed in palm trees, and this was one of the many images that popped up, and I figured, I can work with that. So let's move it over here into the sign. And first thing we got to do is the trace bitmap. So in order to do that, we go over here to the trace bitmap button, click on that, and you have the option of color or black and white. Well, this is a color image because at least the sun is orange. Let's see. But apparently there's three colors here. I'm colorblind, so I don't see things like y'all do. But anyway, I just have to take this thing's word for it. So what we want to keep, we're going to do, well, if we did the black and white, it'll keep everything except the sun, because the sun is neither black nor white. And these other things, I guess because they're a darker color, they can stay. But we're going to do it color. The colors we want to keep are the dark, and whatever that is, green or gray, I can't tell, and then the orange of the sun. So that captured everything that we want to keep. I don't think we need to select the white, but I'll do it just to see what it looks like. If we select the white, well, then it's everything, and you don't have a design anymore. So uncheck the white. And then we'll go down here. And we could do the noise filter. We could play with that. By default, it's always on 2. We're going to start out trying that. And we can fade the bitmap if we want to. Here, I generally just go with whatever the default is, but let's just preview that. Hit the preview button, and now is where we will fade it out and look and see if we can see any trash or anything that needs to come out of there. And this actually looks pretty clean. Well, I thought we had maybe had an overlap up there, but we don't. So that's what we're looking for: overlaps or just little specks, trash that we won't need. So we're happy with that. That looks good. So just leaving it at 2 on the noise filter. Hit preview again, and then apply, and then close. All right, so now let me back out a little bit. Our vector is in there, and I just clicked the image one time, and you can kind of see the outline of the vector there. So we're just going to grab it right there in the middle and drag it off to the side for now. Then come back over here to your original image, double click that, and then we can drag him way over here because we're through with him. Or you could even delete him, but I rarely do. I normally leave the artwork off to the side, so in the future, if I want to come back and reuse that artwork for something, I know where it's at. So let's go back in here. So now we're going to move this one over here to the left edge. Needs to be resized right off the bat too. So we can make it a little smaller. All right, and we want the symmetrical look. We want the same, basically the same scene over here. So in order to do that, I'm just going to copy, paste, and there's a pasted version right there on top of that. You can't see it, but just grab that center square and drag her over here. And you can see that horizontal line that's popping up there that shows you if you're staying in line with the original, which is definitely what we want to do in this case. So we're going to drop it right there. And I don't want it to look exactly like this one. So in order to make this thing look more symmetrical, I'm going to create a mirrored image of this. So we'll go over here to our Mirror Selected Objects tool, click on that, and really what you're doing, you're just going to flip it. In our case, we're going to flip it horizontally. We could flip it vertically, but that wouldn't do us any good. So let's go back to that. Now I'm just going to click horizontal, and now that's going to be a more symmetrical look. So let's close out of that. We're through with that. And clearly we can't have two suns. So we are on Earth. So what we need to do is just go in here, highlight both of these images, and ungroup everything. So we'll click our ungroup. Now everything can be manipulated individually, like the birds here. We can start moving birds around. But first thing we need to do is get rid of one of these suns. So we'll just delete that one. We're going to keep this one, but we're going to move it. I want it right in the center. And you can see the crosshair kind of X that popped up there in the middle. That's letting me know I'm right in the center of the design. I'm not in the center of the board, but I am in the center of the design, and I'm at the same level as it was before, which is what I want, because I want to keep my horizon flat. So I'm going to let it go right there. That's good. And we could go in here and start adding birds. So we could copy a bird and paste, put him down here, put one right here. We could copy two birds. Copy, where you were just right clicking, copy, paste, and drag them over here. Then you can click off and you can grab one of them. If you don't want two of them right there together, we can put one out here flying over the sun. You know, you can manipulate these things any way you want to. As you saw in my finished design, I have more birds, but you get the idea. And you can just add as many birds as you want to and put them anywhere you want. All right, so now we're going to the text. So let's go over here to our text box. I've already picked my font for this sign and my height, my text height. But this is going to say, welcome to the Jackson Oasis. So first one up here at the top is going to be welcome, all caps. We'll put it up here approximately where it needs to be. There's my little center line popped up there, which is so helpful. I'll just drop it right there. click off. We want to start a new text box, so let's go over here. This one is going to say Jackson Oasis. Drag it down here. There's my little center line, so that's good. We'll leave it right there. I'm going to bump that up a little bit. I don't like it sitting there on this line. Then we got a smaller set of text here, which is going to be to the. I get right here. Then we're going to resize that down to 1 inch for now, and we may come back and change that later. All right, so now there's all of our text, all of our images are there. Now we need to set the text, the welcome and the Jackson Oasis, to align to the curve of this sign. It'll make it look a lot more, I guess, professional, a little bit more classy. And you know I'm all about being classy. You can tell that by the way I dress. So here we go. What you're going to do, we're going to use the text on a curve tool. So let's just go ahead and click that. And now we're going to go over here. We'll start up here at the top with the welcome. Highlight your text, hold down your shift key, and this is that border that we made that's going to keep us the 1/4 of an inch away from the black border that'll be cut away. So we can see it put welcome way over here to the side and upside down, but that's okay. We can manipulate that. You can see there's a square, a dark square right here in the center. It may be a color. I'm not sure because I'm colorblind. To me, it's just a dark square. You just grab that and slide your text around where you want it. Okay, so now it's upside down. Over here above the curve is checked by default. We can try on the curve, which will just put it, center it up on our border there. Or we can do below the curve, which is really what we want, but it's on the wrong side of the curve. So we'll come over here, text on the other side, click that, and it dropped it down here, but it's going to be aligned right. So here's that dark square again. Just circling back up here where he needs to be, and boom, right there. The little center line popped up. That's exactly where we need to be. Now we're going to do the same thing down here on the Jackson Oasis. We'll click our text. Well, this time I'm going to try it different because I can never remember which way, whether to click the text first or the curve first. And it matters. So let's try this. We'll just see. I'll click on the curve first, hold down my shift key, click on the text. Oh yeah. And I don't know why it always starts you out over here on the side, but that's just the way it always does. But there's your dark square in the middle there. Just drag him over here where we want him. We're looking for that center line, which just popped up right there, and let go. Now, that's pretty good. We're going to move this to the up now that our welcome is set where it's going to be. Now it's really starting to come together. So now we need to start manipulating the images some more because you see we got issues down here. Our Jackson is overlapping part of our image here. We can't have that. And it's the same problem over here. So in order to fix this, there's several ways we could go about this, but I'm going to stick with the simplest method here. We're just going to cut this part of that design away. We're going to do away with that. So to do that, I'm just going to go over here to the draw line tool. We're going to zoom in here. We're going to start right there. And I'm just going to draw a line. Let's see. About right there. And just connect it right there on that end. So we're going to highlight this. Highlight this. Go to Node Edit Mode. Go to the scissors. And this is where we can start doing away with some things. I really didn't even need that second. So anyway, so that did that. So uh, that took care of that side. So let's go over here. We got to do the same thing. I'm going to lop this off about from here to here, and then we'll just get rid of all of that. So let's. You can use your draw arc. You could draw a curve if you wanted to. I'm just going to keep it simple. We're going to draw a line. So I'm just going to pick a spot over here, get on it, come over here, like, let's see, let's put it right there. So you left click, right click, and there you go. So now all we need to do is highlight the original design and that line we just made. Go back to our node edit mode. There's our nodes. Now we're going to grab our scissors and go to clipping. And just like that, it's gone. That happened so fast, I'm going to put it back and show you again. We'll do an instant replay there. I grabbed my scissors and I just come over here and just clip. And it cut it back to that line that we just put across there. And that is fixed. So that has us pretty much to where I left off with the original. The only thing I'm going to do different, or now, I'm going to make the sun a little bit bigger. Slide him over there. Well, I still got to put the reflections down there. And I'll show you how I did that too. That was real simple. I just went over to the oval tool, clicked on it. I set, in this case, I just went with 2 inches by a quarter of an inch. So I'm going to set this oval right here. And my phone is going crazy. I'm going to put another one right there, another one right up here, maybe one right there. And close this. And then we can kind of move these around. We could even join them if we wanted to, and I think we will. So let's slide this one over here a little bit, kind of over to that edge. This one's already to that edge. Well, let's say we wanted to join a couple of these. So let's join these two here. So we'll move it over up till it makes contact. Let me zoom in there. Okay, go a little bit more right there. All right, and then highlight both of those. Click on Node Edit. Go to your scissors and just snip away what's in the middle there, and then back out, and then you've got 2 of them. A longer one, 2 of them there, and that's a simple way to do that. And I think I need another one of these, so I'm just gonna make a copy, paste, and drag it right up here, but I want it to be smaller. I want to vary the sizes here, because these are just really ripples off of the water, and none of them should be the exact same. Some can be bigger, some can be smaller. But you're just trying to get that effect of the reflection on the water. So we'll leave it at that right there. See how cool that looks? All right, so we are as far as we needed to be on this one. Now I'm going to take you back over to the one that I originally finished, and let's look at those toolpaths. This one has all of the toolpaths. Let's open up our toolbar over here, do our thumbnail, and we got a lot of toolpaths. And we'll quickly go over those. The text, which is obvious. Welcome, Jackson Oasis. I put it on the same because that's all the same size text. So let's just open that up and let's look at this. I'm cutting it as a VCarve, naturally. I'm going to go 0.08 depth. That's just what I went with. Using 90-degree Groovy Genie. And I'm using 2 clearing tools. And I may come back and only use one. But for now, I've got a 1/4 inch downtown Jenny and an 1/8 inch downtown Jenny. Actually, I need to remove that and change that to downtown Jenny. 1/8 inch downtown Jenny. There she is. Select. All right. And that's it for that. Nothing else fancy. So we're just going to calculate that. Preview. All right. Now, I see a little something wrong in there in that welcome. So let's go back in this toolpath, see what happened there. I think the 1/4 inch is probably overkill, but here's how you find out. Let's find out which one's doing the most work. We're going to go in here, reset the preview, and then we're going to look at each one of these text toolpaths one at a time. We'll start with the last one that'll run, which is the B bit. So let's just preview that selected path. All right, so it's basically outlining the text. Then this text clear 2, which is the 1/8 inch bit, let's just see what it's doing. So we'll preview that. Let's reset that. We'll preview just what the 1/8 inch is doing, and that's it. That ain't a whole lot. So let's reset that, highlight the clear 1, which is the 1/4 inch, and see what it's doing. It's doing a little more than the 1/8 inch bit, but you would think all of those together should give a good result. Yeah, and it did. I don't know why that first rendition there looked kind of funky, but so let's reset, preview all. Yeah, and that's what I would expect it to look like. That looks great. All right, so we've got the welcome and the Jackson Oasis. Those are taken care of. Let's go back in here to the. We'll open that one. This is just a 90-degree Groovy Genie, no flat depth. I played around with it. It didn't need the flat depth. It's going to carve deeper than the Welcome or the Jackson Oasis, but it's no big deal. No bigger than that is. It's not going to carve too deep, especially with a 90-degree. So we just leave that like it is. Then we go down here to the sun, which I'm cutting as a VCarve. If I was just cutting the sun like that right there, I would just do a pocket toolpath. But since how I'm going to cut these ripples at the same time I do the rest of the sun, we're going to run it as a VCarve, 06 depth, 90-degree Groovy Genie. Going to clear it out with a 1/4 and then an 1/8. That's not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. What'll happen is the 1/4 may be necessary for the sun. It'll get that cleared out faster, but it won't do anything down here on the ripples. So anyway, so we've got that those tools selected. Just doing a regular offset. This is a real quick little thing that's going to do. We named it sun, calculate, and close. All right, now the trees and the birds, same thing. Basically, this entire sign, I'm only using 3 bits to do the design, and then I'll use a different end mill to cut the thing out. But for this, what are we doing here? Yeah, trees and birds. We're going 0.06 depth, 90-degree Groovy Genie, 1/4 inch downtown Genie, 1/8 inch slim Genie. I need to change it. I want those to be downtown Genies because I only want 3 tools. I don't want to keep messing around with a bunch of tool changes. So calculate that. All right, now we go down to the border pocket, which is our black outline here. This one, 0.07 depth, it could have been anything. I just went with .07. Y'all hear the C-130s flying over out of Little Rock. I'm using a 1/4 inch downtown Jenny. That's the only tool I need for that. And I'm going to cut it in one pass because it's only going .07D. Running an offset. So we'll calculate that. Then the final thing is the cutout. So let's look at that. The cut depth on this is the depth of the board, the thickness of the board. So there's that. I'm using the 1/4 inch IDC Woodcraft, the beast. So that thing is so awesome at doing your profile cutouts like this. I mean, it's the best tool I've ever used for that purpose. I'm going on the outside right. We added tabs. Now you can see the tabs here that I put. I put 4 tabs. And I generally use a 1/4, 0.25 length and thickness. So I think that's what I'll do here too, 0.25. And I won't need ramps. I'm going to calculate, reset, and then we're going to preview all one final time, make sure everything looks good. And it does. And if you wanted to see what this preview would look like with that, with only the oval piece here with this cutaway gone, you would have to go back into the cutout and uncheck the tool tabs, uncheck the tabs, then recalculate, reset, preview all toolpaths again, and this time there won't be any tabs there. And that will allow you to just double click on that outer portion and it goes away. And now you can see what your sign's really going to look like. Pretty cool, huh? So with that, I believe we're through here. We just need to save these toolpaths. Let's close that and we'll do that. Highlight all of them. And then we go in here and we're going to see an issue with so many different toolpaths, but only 3 tools. We're going to see these tools are scattered about. Like tool number 14 there, then a 6, 32, 32, then 14 again, 6, another 32, 14. Then we got a 32, 14. So clearly these are not grouped together at all. So that's what we're fixing to do. So we go down here. We know all of the clear ones are that 1/4 inch downtown Jenny. So we're going to group all of the clear ones together. So just come down here and highlight that one. Just click the up arrow and put it up here next to the other one. And then go down here to my tree and birds. That was a 1/4 inch too. Highlight it. Just click the up arrow till it gets up there. And then our clear 2s, all of those are the 1/8 inch. We'll put them together. There's another clear 2 down here. All right, and then the rest of this should be, except for the border pocket. That is a 1/4 inch, so it can go up here. In fact, we can cut it first. So I moved it all the way to the top. And then the only thing left down here are V-bits, and they're all the same. They're all 90 degree. And then the final toolpath will be that the cutout with that IDC Woodcraft the Beast. So now let's go back up here before we save them and see how much difference we made. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 toolpaths with the 1/4 inch. All are going to run with one tool change. Then we got our 3 6s, which is the 1/8 inch. We got those grouped together there. Then we've got all of our V-bits grouped together, the 32s there, and then the final one will be the 19. He's the odd man out, but he's going to finish the job up for us. So let's save this. And I've already named it Jackson Oasis New. I'm just going to leave it at that. Save. Do I want to replace the existing file? Yes, I do. Because I made some important changes there. So now we can send it over to the Masso, and let's do that. Already connected. Go in our file here. Right here. Jackson Oasis New. That is the correct one. Drag and drop. Send it. And let's go over to the Masso and get her going. All right, let's load that new file up. And Jackson Oasis New, there it is, loaded. Boom, there we go. All right, so here's the cedar slab I'm going to use for this sign. But before I put it over here, I need to put some spacers down because I'll be cutting through the slab to cut out the sign. All right, since there's no straight edges running a long ways here, I'm not going to be able to use my fence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to screw this one screw down. All right, and then that'll allow this to pivot. And the goal is, I've got a pencil line drawn right down the middle there. And I am going to set this angle to be exactly parallel with the x-axis. And let me show you how I'm going to do that. All right, see the pencil mark through here. I'm going to move the spindle up here. That out of the way. And I just got to put that V-bit down on that line. All right, I'm on that line. So now, I'm going to run, raise it up just a hair. Now I'm going to run it all the way to the other end of the slab. See, it's already running off of that line quite a bit because it's not square to the gantry there. So let's see how much we're off. All right, so all I got to do is pivot my spindle to right there to where that's underneath that line, which it is, and put a screw in. Ooh, that's loud. Now I can put my other screws in. All right, we good. Now I got to set the X and Y. In this case, I'll be centering in the middle of the spindle. I'm in the middle of the board. I've got my X drawn right there. So let's get our X and Y. in step mode. Oh, right there. Down, 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 down. It's great. All right, so I've got it centered up over my center mark. All I got to do is zero out the X and the Y. Now we're going to set the Z. I'll do that with the probe block. All right, we're ready to probe the Z. You ever get the feeling you're being watched? All right, got that done. Well, it had been so long since I did any kind of work on the CNC without using my fence, I just about forgot how to do it. Now we are ready to put the first bit in, but I'm going to let the machine tell me to do that. So I've got it loaded up there. Let's go to the F2, rewind, and cycle start. All right, let's load up that 1/4 inch downtown unit. So it should just measure it and go straight to work. And the first thing is the border pocket. It's going to cut that first. So we'll get to see right off the bat whether I'm centered up where I need to be. And in fact, I think, since I've never did this before on video, I'm going to show you how to do a dry run. So let's see. Go to, I was in my F2, go to MDI, then hit dry run. Then come over here and click cycle start. So rewind, cycle start. Now let's see what it's doing. So far, so good. That looks great. It's kind of close there. I really couldn't tell about that. All right, let me get over here, push stop, and we'll do it again. So I ran the dry run a couple more times and discovered that I needed to move my XY from here down just about an inch, because I was getting way too close up here. And actually that's not flat. That's not a flat edge. It goes in as it goes down. So yeah, I was going to have trouble if I'd let that run. So yeah, I'm glad I did the dry run now. So in fact, I'll do another dry run now to show what difference it makes. Let's do this. MDI, dry run, rewind, start. So since I moved it down an inch, I had to look close on this edge now, and that's going to be fine. Then I'll go around behind it and watch this. Yeah, so we were in the white the whole time there, so I feel a lot better about that. All right, let's make some hand glitter. Figured I'd show you real quick how to get out of the dry run mode. You just click the dry run button, exit, and then you'll have to rewind, and we can actually start the process now. So I'm going to go to work origin, which is that new center mark that I just showed you. Yep. Now I'm just going to hit cycle start, and then it should come to the front and prompt me to load that bit and then measure it and go to cut. Cycle start. Oh, rewind. Cycle start. Yep. Prompting me to load the 1/4 inch downtown Jenny. Cycle start. And got my finger on the panic button. I don't know if I'll ever get used to this. It's always scary. Looking good. 30% through with the Carve according to the MassoLink. That's pretty handy. Alright, let's swap this bit out. Got the IDC Woodcraft the Beast loaded up. Fixing to hit cycle start and cut this joker out. Ta-da! paint some and the ripples down here, the reflection. Well, crap. Look what I just noticed. No dot on the eye. It was in the design, but I know what happened. Damn it.
What's going on?
Gotta fix that.
Doctor? I'm done.
So I'm back in
Shut up.
VCarve Pro,
I'm done.
and
Take me off.
pretty easy to spot the issue there. Apparently, the last time I recalculated this toolpath for the text, I did not highlight the dot on top of the eye. So all I'm going to do is make a new toolpath just for that dot. Here's the new plan, and I think this is the best way to go about this. I've created just a completely new project. I just said I have a 6" by 6" square. I'm going to Z off the material surface, and my XY will be in the center, just like it was on this sign, but really that's irrelevant. But for this little thing, it's going to be in the center again. Click that. Now I'm going to create a dot, and I know it's 0.55. Create. Right about there, right in the center of that thing. Okay, close. Now, what I need to do is create a toolpath. A VCarve toolpath. Let me get rid of that right there. VCarve, same thing we had. We're going to change that to 7. All right, so we're going to clear it with a 1/4" downtown Jenny, and then finish off the edge with the 90° groovy Jenny. Here again, we're going to call it, this one will be dot 2. Save that. Oh, no vector selected. Yeah, that might help. Calculate. Reset. Preview. And there we are. There is our missing dot. So let's see how long this is going to take. Oh, 1 second and 1 second. But it takes 30 minutes to set it up to fix a mistake. Oh well. Let's save it. Dot 2. This is going to be dot 2. Save. Now let's send the new dot over there to the Masso. All right, as you can see, I've got a little X there above the eye where the dot is going to go. So I'm going to move the spindle over there, and we're going to set our XY right there on that little X. Since we put the dot right in the center of our new project, this should remove all doubt about getting this right on the first try. Because after this, backing up and punt is not going to be an easy option. Let me get up here so I can see what I'm doing. Step mode. Get on down there, right there. So at this point, we know, since I had the dot in the center of the new project, all I have to do is set my XY right on that X, the small X I drew there. And wherever I set this XY is exactly where this dot is going to be. There is no question about that. Well, I ain't going to say there's no question, because I'm still going to do a dry run, but Anyway, there should be no question about that. Okay, zero out my X and my Y. Now I'm going to set the Z. So let's put the block over there. We'll do that right quick. All right, let's set this Z. Now we're ready to run that dry run. Start. So that was way too big, and I don't understand why. I know the original dot is 0.55, and that's what I set this one as. And why it's running large like that, I don't understand. So let me do some more testing, and then I'll come back. So I went back in VCarve Pro and reduced the size of that dot from 0.55 to 0.35. Loaded it and run the preview in VCarve Pro, and it kept saying that my 1/4 inch bit would not fit in the 0.35 dot, which made no sense to me. And I, changed the bit and all that stuff, and it still kept saying that 1/4 inch bit wouldn't fit in a 0.35 hole. And I still don't understand why. I don't understand that at all. So I just decided to switch over to an 1/8 inch bit in VCarve Pro and run it and see, the preview, and it did fine. So that's what I did. I have switched over to the 1/8 inch downtown Jenny. I have set my 0. I have set my XY. Everything is good to go. I have run numerous dry runs on this, and I think I'm ready this time. So I'm going to run one more dry run just for the heck of it, just so y'all can see. Dry run, rewind, and cycle start. Okay, now that looked more reasonable to me than the one that I ran with the 1/4 inch bit. So I'm going to run it back up here. Go to work origin. This is not a dry run, but my finger will be on the panic button. Well, that's a start. I have no idea why I was having those other problems. It makes absolutely no sense at all. While I went back into VCarve Pro, I'm deleting this out of the Masso right now, that last one. And I have redid the file. I've made the dot 0.55 like it's supposed to be. Now I'm going to send it over to the Masso. Nope, just going to go for it. Whew. That's perfection. Let me put that 90-degree V-bit in there so it's acting like it's got good sense. I'm all about problem solving, keeping a cool head, and all that good stuff. But when you're going through it, in that moment, there is no fun to be had. And especially when you can't figure out what is going on. And I have no freaking idea what has been causing this. But let's just hope this ends my misery right here. Cycle start. All right. Let's go bevel that hole and be done with it. Finally. Success. Got a big old deep gouge in the middle, but I can fix that easy. Woo, thank you, Lord. That's it for this one, kids. I hope y'all learned something. And if you did, post it in the comments below. Like, just start your post out. I didn't know, but whatever it is that you didn't know. Let me know if I'm touching base with y'all. If you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, post those below as well. Probably notice this big round sign here behind me. I'm not going to go into a great amount of detail on that yet, but that's going to be a repurposing project. Not sure if it'll be the next one or not, but anyway, my current subscriber count hit 1,650 subscribers this morning. That's fantastic. Thank y'all for watching. Always like, share, subscribe. All of those things are so important and they help this channel so much. Oh, and by the way, my ATC came in day before yesterday. So I've got it still in the box. Haven't even opened the box yet, but it's sitting there waiting on me. I'm still waiting on my special guest or two to make their arrangements to fly down here and make a video with me of setting that thing up. I can't wait. So until next time, y'all take care, and I'll see you on the next video.